In today's lecture, we describe power of test in hypothesis testing. Further, I explain its definition, explanation, and factors affecting on power of test, which is alpha level, directionality of the alternative hypothesis, sample size, and variability of data. If you are new in my channel Statisticians Club, please subscribe the channel. Also press bell icon to receive latest videos. So now let's start by explaining the definition of power of test. Power of test is a statistical test which refers to its ability to reject a null hypothesis that is in fact false. So when we reject a null hypothesis, when it is actually false, we perform the power of test. Now we move further explanation. The size of difference between obtained sample mean and hypothesis sample mean has an effect on the null hypothesis rejection. Larger differences make the detection of statistical significance more likely and increase the power of test. If we deal with the problem of mean, so the difference between sample mean, which we use to calculate from test statistics, and hypothesized population mean, which we want to test, if their difference is larger, it leads to reject the null hypothesis, and larger difference also increase the power of the test. Now we move further by explaining factors affecting on power of test. The factors affect on power of test are choice of alpha, directionality of alternative hypothesis, sample size, and the variability of scores that we calculate from z-score. These all factors has an effect on power of test. We explain these factors here. First, alpha level. By choosing less severe alpha level such as 0.05 instead of 0.01, this will raise the power of test and making it more likely that null hypothesis will be rejected. But one thing keep in mind, that if we set alpha 0.05, this will increase the type first error, but type second error will be decreased, because in my previous video which is made on type first and type second error, I explained with detail that type first and second error has inverse relationship. By increasing type first error, type second error will decrease. So if we set 0.05, this is the much more probability to reject the null hypothesis. So this is why the circumstances of the research situation have to be considered, which level of alpha is used. So we did not have a specific level of significance, so this depends upon the situation which alpha level we use, because the choice of alpha level also affect on the power of the test. Directionality of alternative hypothesis. A similar case can be made when we use one tail or two tail test. A one tail test is more likely to deduct statistical significance because of its vast rejection region. For example, if we have alpha is equal to 0.05, the rejection region consists of entire 5% region, but in two-tailed test the 5% rejection region would be divided into halves, with each half moving further into the tails of the distribution, making it more difficult to reject the null hypothesis. In my previous video, one tail and two tail test, I have detailed explanation about the one tail, which is one tail and two tail test is, and here we discuss only its effect. For example, if we have alpha is equal to 0.05 in one tail test, we have rejection region in one side, either it is right or it is left, and our rejection region is vast. But in two tail test, our alpha is divided into two parts. One part is on the left tail and other is on the right tail, and the rejection region is very limited, so it is difficult to reject H naught. Again, one has to look at research situation. Unless there is reason to know the likely direction of statistical result based on previous studies, researcher will generally choose the harder standard and use a two-tail test. So the choice of one tail and two-tail test depends upon the situation, which test would be used, but it has an also an effect on the power of test. That is the purpose to discuss here. Now we move towards the third title, sample size. Larger sample size generally produce less sampling results or less sampling error. Reduced sampling error will result in larger obtained test statistics. To explain this, we look the following example with same standard deviation, but sample size have variation. Here first sigma is equal to standard error. The formula of standard error is here, S over under root n. Here our standard deviation, which is from sample value, is 16 and n is sample size is 100. After simplification we obtain 1.6, and standard deviation of population is equal to S over under root n. 16 over under root 25 is equal to 3.2. Now here is the formula of z-score for first example. Z is equal to x bar minus mu over sigma. For z formula for mean of to calculate the mean, sample mean is 17 minus population mean is 12 over 1.16, 3.13, and the z formula is for second example, x bar minus mu over sigma, 17 minus 12 over 3.2 is equal to 1.56. Here we can see that the standard deviation, sample size and population means are all same. The only difference was the sample size. As you know, in our example, sample mean, population mean and standard deviations are same. The only difference is the sample size. The only difference was the sample size, which increase. The result obtained in larger obtained test value. As you see clearly, by increasing the sample size, our z value increase. By decreasing the sample size, our z value is decrease. So larger obtained test value extend further into the tail of the distribution, which make the rejection of null hypothesis more likely. You can see, as we have larger value of z statistics, there is larger chance it will fall in the rejection region, which leads to reject H naught. So the sample size also has an effect on the power of test. Next, the last point is variability of data. As we know, standard deviation is a measure of variability of score. Standard deviation is the variation in the scores, because here in hypothesis testing we deal with score, so the standard deviation is the variability. Greater variability increases the amount of standard error, which make rejection of the null hypothesis less likely. Let's look at another example to illustrate this situation. Sigma is equal to S over unto 10. So here we have the variation in standard deviation, but sample size is same. 2 over 109 is equal to 0.67, 5 over 109 is equal to 1.67. The standard deviation of 2 is the first instance reflect less variability among the scores. The greater variability shown in the score in the second case with standard deviation 5. If we have larger standard deviation, we have greater variability. If we have low value of standard deviation, we have less variability. So understand to this point, larger standard deviation leads to larger variability and larger value of the population standard deviation, and smaller value of sample standard deviation leads to smaller value of standard error. The smaller standard deviation produce a smaller amount of standard error. So the smaller amount of standard deviation yields a smaller amount of standard error, which is sigma S over root n is the formula of standard error. Now let's look at how smaller amount of standard error affects to obtain the sample statistics. So here is the formula of z statistics. Z is equal to x bar minus mu over sigma. Here x bar is the sample mean, which is 10, and mu is the population mean, which is 8 over 0.67 to 0.99. Z is equal to x bar minus mu over sigma, z minus 8 over 1.67, which is 1.20. So we have larger value of z here, 2.99, with smaller standard deviation. Smaller standard deviation or smaller difference in z scores have greater chance to reject the null hypothesis, because this is the greater value, and there is much chances to fall in rejection region. So we can see that the means are the same, only standard deviation is different. The result is a larger obtained z value and greater likelihood to reject the null hypothesis, and increasing the power. So these are the 4 points that has an effect on the power of test. Thanks.